Hello there, welcome to the QNB Stars League review show, all in English here on Alcast as we look back at all 6 matches in week 17. The battle at the top was still in full swing, with realistically just Al Sadd and Al Duhail now with their eyes fixed on that league title. There's plenty of tension down at the bottom, with any one of 5 teams still uncertain of their Stars League status. As always, I'm joined by former English Premier League players Nick Summerby and Chris Makin. And they will share with us their expert opinion as they analyse each game in detail. Plenty to come from them in the next hour, but first let's remind you how they lined up for week 17. Al Duhail Salal was the first match in week 17 on Thursday the 15th of February. It was an 18:55 kickoff. Then on Friday the 16th of February, Al Rayyan versus Al Salia was the early kickoff. Al Garaf Al Kharitiat was 18:55, the same time that Al Ahly took on Qatar Sports Club. And then 2 matches remaining on the Saturday. It was Al Markhia against Al Khor at 16:45 and Al Sadd versus Al Arabi at 18:55, the big local derby match here in Qatar. Right, let's get straight to the action. League leaders Al Duhail were coming off a very successful week after a win in the AFC Champions League. In week 17, they were up against Salal, who themselves were closing in on 4th spot. Your commentators are Nick Summerby and Chris Makin.
In terms of passing ability.
Once again, look, it's going to be a problem. Here he is now, he threads it through the middle. You've got to do your own work on that.
Here we go, Al Duhail on the attack. Namtehi going to the bar line, can he pull it back? Clicks it back to Ismail, it's 1-0. Luis Jr., where did the goal start from? Wonderful pull back there by Namtehi. Great touch by Ismail. Luis Jr. on the penalty spot. Just roofs it this time. There we go. And they made it look easy there, Al Duhail. Occupy Mendes when they got possession, but here's Mawas switching it to Rami this side. Rami cuts inside on his right foot, he's crossing. Good tackle by Sagbo to win it back for Salal. He's a bit physical there.
And there it is, that's the tackle, there's nothing wrong with it at all.
Clean, nice clean tackle there by Sagbo.
It's a bit strange though, because he's not obviously left-footed, so you stick him on the right-hand side, and Mawas doesn't really usually play on the right-hand side there, so you'd switch those over.
Mendes again, wonderful ball. Just gliding one over that back foot of Al Duhail. Here's Masatni. That's a Namtehi who takes the shots on Namtehi. What a goal! What a goal by Namtehi.
It's not a given at all, and he just gets a right foot and bends it into the far corner to make it 2-0 to Duhail. Look at the quality. Keeper, not a chance at all. And it's an absolutely fantastic start to the game. Duhail are leading this 2-0.
And here's Luis Jr. trying to pick out Masatni. Masatni with a goal! What a goal by Masatni! They're making it look easy there.
What a goal, by the way.
Somewhat clinical, Nick.
Absolutely. I tell you what, but they're getting the ball, and all of a sudden, it's his awareness. You know, the ball's put over the top, fantastic pass, still not a given at all. Knows where the keeper is, just helps it on over the keeper, and it's 3-0 to Duhail. I mean, look at this for a finish. It's absolutely fantastic from Masatni. Not a chance at all. They're just getting blown to a side at the moment, Salal in this game, and it's Duhail just taking control. 3-0 the game is.
Great awareness, by the way, by Masatni. There's Namtehi, space ahead of him. Always to his left. Mendes has carried on his run. Here he is.
I tell you what, you just fear for Salal now, because they are just taking control of the game. A wonderful play, Masatni lays it out to the left-hand side. Here's Moez with the ball then.
Oh, 4-0. You can tell by the sound of my voice, I'm not surprised, and I fear this is going to be a rout now for Salal.
Here's Masatni, just lays it out on this left-hand side. Here's Namtehi with a lovely pass it is as well. It's not a cross, he's just passed it to Namtehi. There's Namtehi there, just side-foots it past the keeper. Salal can't do anything about this.
There we go. Ismail. Within inches of the back heel, landing at the feet of Moez. Whether he wants to go, there he is, clipping one forward again. Here we go, could be five, I'll break key. Saved by Baba Malik. Another chance goes to Alderhill, should have been 5. So he tries a shot, good block by Anash. Here's Mahir, can he use his pace and power? He's up against Musa. Still Mahir. He needs support. Who's near him? He's going to go alone. Mahir's done really well. Can he get his shots off?
It's going to be a long game of football this is now for Salah, especially the way De Gea are just moving the ball around and creating opportunities. Even though they're winning this game 4-0, they want more goals.
Long range effort there from Masani.
No good switch of play. Once again, they just soak it up.
There's a difference there. Ismail.
Come on, Salah once again. Look at the threading the ball around the Hale. Here's Masakni.
No surprise when we tell you it's 5-0 and Masakni gets his double on the night. Once again, a very impressive score coming from Alderhill. It's got to be said, they haven't really done much to get these 5 goals, have they really? They've been in all sorts of space all over the pitch. That time, so play there by El Abbey, and he finds Mawas as well. Mawas does well, skips past Break out Mawas in the near post. Oh, it goes right across the face of goal. Should have been a goal for Salal.
What do you think then? Tell me what you think, Chris. How much is going to be possession-wise? This has to be the biggest. This has got to be 80.
67% at half-time.
It's got to be 80, 85%. I'll be very surprised if there's any less than that. Here's Masakni again.
I don't know what the record is.
So, Alderhill take one step closer to another league title, Chris Macon.
They certainly do. Just looking back at the highlights there, it was even more of a convincing walk in the park for Alderhill than what I first thought when I was covering the match. You look at the first few goals and Salal are just not getting anywhere near the Alderhill players. I look at Alderhill and Al Sadd. I think there's a massive gap between them and the rest of the league. Al Ryan can give those teams a good game, or even Al Ryan are not on their level. And as for the likes of Salal, El Garafa, who else is there? Who are trying to chase that 4th spot? Al Saleh. They're nowhere near Alderhill, are they? Those goals there, they're more or less walking it in, aren't they?
Yeah. And do you get the feeling, Nick, that Alderhill are literally improving and getting stronger as the end of the season is getting closer?
Yeah, that's why it's interesting to see what they do in the Champions League. You know, that's 14 goals in 3 games. If you go back even more than that, how many times we've seen them score 4 or 5? When he looked at it at the start, he thought, well, hang on a minute, because Salal beat them last season. He thought, if there's a side here what could cause a problem, they blew them away very early in the game. The job was done then. After that, for us to commentate, there was nothing in the game. It was just easy for them.
They do well to keep the energy levels and the desire, don't they? Because they're just, it's too easy for them.
4-0 after 15 minutes.
I mean, the game's over, but they still keep going, don't they?
You do have to say, me and Chris played in front of crowds, and crowds, it's a different game of football, and they churn it out without crowds, which you have to say, it's very difficult, that. They motivate themselves.
Exactly,
is it the manager? Is it... Yeah. These players come out you very rarely see a bad performance off them. Namti's an example, Masakni, they churn it out every week.
Right, let's analyse this in detail now. If you're going to stop a team like Alderhill, what Nick and Chris always say, stop at source. With Alderhill, it's Mendes, and he was free to do as he wished again, Nick.
I mean, you have everything now in football. I mean, he's the best passer of the ball. He makes things happen, and that's why you're going to see a lot of the goals come from this. I mean, this is 19 seconds. So if you're the coach, surely you go, hey, get on him, stand on him there. And this is what happened if you don't do your own work. they have everything, and he's the best. He's the only passer really in the league that can do this. So all you do is just step over onto him.
Surely at some stage in that match, Sadbo's a vastly experienced player. He's played in the Premier League. Yeah. Someone's got to have a word between Sadbo and mine and just say, hey, just stay within 5 or 10 yards of Mendes. Let Musa have the ball. He's picking out passes for fun. And we've done that how many Pieros on Mendes over the last 2-3 years where
he features almost every week.
He passes like a midfielder. He passes it as well as Boudieff. So don't let them start off from the back, Alderhill.
Now,
But they, by the way, they came out with 4: Jedu, Sagbo, Mahir, Mawes. So how's one of them not stopped him? It's not a big problem. We just say, just stand on him, stop him there.
You don't have to go stand on him, just
stop
within
him
10
from the ball.
yards
And
of
that's the job done there.
because the point you've always made, both of you have made, Nick, you can take us on this, is let Musa have the ball, because that's not his game, and this is an example.
This is your example here now. I mean, look, that's his passer. Not being disrespectful to him, because he's a wonderful player.
Musa's a better defender.
He's a defender. That's his game, that. So what you do in the next game, surely if you watch that, just stand on him there. Give it to Musa. I mean, I saw an example when Manchester United were playing against Liverpool, and they were saying, give the ball to Carragher. You know, you heard Alex Ferguson give the ball to, because he's not that type of player. You know, straight away there. And someone's obviously got to see it and just say, right, do you know what? And I thought about it today. If you do stop it, that's a huge source of him, that. It's all coming from him.
At least it's a start.
Yeah. Well, it's one very effective source, because he seems to be providing.
Do you know what? That surprised me a little bit with the manager. I thought he'd have had that.
Surely the players have got to take responsibility.
Yeah, but the manager, but even in that first 19 seconds, you say, oi, get over him and stop him now, will you? Next thing, there's 3 goals gone in the net.
Namtehi, his goal and his contribution, he's just fantastic.
Just one of those players that's been one of the best players since we've come here.
Yeah.
For the last 6 years. He's just up there. He's up there with Tabata. Who else can we mention? I think you'd have to say those two, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you definitely.
Over the 6 years since we've been here?
Yeah.
They've played every season since we've been here. So
Yeah, and with Namtehi, almost every game. I can't, you can sort of pick out the ones that he missed.
I mean, that goal there, we see it all the time. Normally, that go in the top 3.
Is it not in the top 3?
I don't know.
We'll have to wait till the end of the show.
You let your little guard down there. You're doing really well. So he's obviously
What
not in there.
about the Masacny goal? Shades of Robin van Persie in the FIFA World Cup 2014 in Rio, Nick.
We talk about timing your run. Time your run there. He arches his run. He knows exactly where the goalkeeper is. The ball's perfect, but very, very difficult thing to do, and he just lobs it over him. But we're seeing a different De Gea now. It's not okay. They're great at playing football, but they're stretching it. They're opening the game out wide. They've got a lot of different options the way they play now.
All right, let's move on to Al Rayyan. Their hopes of recapturing the league title had realistically faded. They drew midweek in their AFC Champions League match, and for their Week 17 tie against Al Salia, they rested some of their key players. Once again, Nick and Chris have the commentary.
This is actually by Abidi. Belhaj with the outside of his left foot. Good ball through to Timor. Timor cutting back. This one up to the far post, just over the head of George. Madada. Now Kater, where's he going?
What's he doing? What's he doing?
Shoot. Alali, look up. Tries it towards Timor. It just goes over the bar.
Good lively start, by the way, at the moment from Salia. This is a bit more like it is Mudavert just getting into it. It's a foul.
Brought down by Casola. Going to be a free kick on the edge of the Al Rayyan box. Good pace and strength there by Madada. Top corner. Did we doubt him? What a goal by Grigori. The Romanian international smashes it home, and it's Al Salia 1-0 up.
And what a start for Salia. There's a start. Keeper, not a chance at all. Grigori, 1-0 to Salia. This is better now. Zuma in the box.
Zuma to the far side. I think Hassan gets a touch on it. It's going to be a corner to Al Rayyan. Good break from Zuma. Touched by Mate. Mate to Madada. He's onside. Madada, can he finish? Great tackle by Hussam. Volley by Belhaj just past the far post. Great play. Wonderful play by Al Salia. Look, a totally different side. They look energised. The passing's good again.
It's brilliant. There's a lot of changes. They're looking like the home side tonight. Here's the ball into the box from Salia. It's a wonderful start for this game.
Here we go. Oh, it's a great chance by Almani to make it 2. It's Mutuali dancing past Al Ali. Gets a free kick. Yellow card. Really a yellow card, is it? Sebastian in the near post. What a ball. Sebastian misses it. Very strong play by Timor on the far side. Wonderful play. Back to Belhaj. Belhaj into Madava. Madava blocked by Hussam. Oh, Madava pulls it back. Belhaj always stretching for that ball. Nearly made it 2-0 for Saleh. And well done, Al Ali steps in with the interception. Caught out of play now, though. He's moved to Ali. Move that ball quick while Al Ali's out of place, and they do. Here's Hussam now. Can he deliver into the near post? There's Sebastian. You're right, Nick. They can't keep that clean sheet. Al Saleh 1-1.
And it's a top quality goal as well. Well done by Ryan. All of a sudden they stepped it up. They're in control of the game. How have you opened the door and let Ryan back into this game?
Well, Alan was caught going forward, the full-back. No one filled in for him, didn't you? You're expecting the midfielder to just occupy that space and make it difficult for...
Oh, Timur through one-on-one with the goalkeeper then. What a fantastic save then.
Sebastian out to batter, just past the near post. And Hamadallah makes it 2. Is he offside? He's celebrating. It's a low cross into the box again from Al Rayyan.
Might have been a shout then at the start, wouldn't be an offside. He's offside there, probably. You know, it's a close call. We'll have to have a look there, but either way, wonderful first-time pass from Tabata. And there he is there now, just to side-foot it back in. And Trabelsi's men, who started off leading this game comfortable in the first half, and now finding it 2-1 behind there. Ryan have just slipped it into another gear.
Hussam breaking forward now, that low cross again. Hamadallah at the near post. Dukali to the far post. Cleared by the youngster Ahmed. Break on now for Almari and Al Saleh. Here's Timur. Slips in Belhaj to the far post. Almari's on. 2-2. What a goal by Al Saleh. What a break. Well done, Al Saleh.
It's a great run here now. There's your run on the outside for Belhaj. There, can we just lift it up? It's absolutely inch perfect, and the header is as well there. Back into the game now, Saleh.
And what about the run from Almari? He's setting the move up on the halfway line, Nick, and he's in there right in the 6-yard box. Fantastic desire.
You get your rewards from that, Chris. You know, if you chase, it hurts sometimes, but there's your reward there. And brilliant that from Saleh. What a goal that is now, 2-2.
Just couldn't make this the rooms to get in the cross. Maybe Abidi can down this right hand side. He's up against Zuma. Cuts past Zuma. Still Abidi. Can he get shots off? Good block by Yunus. Corner to Al Saleh. Fantastic skill. Forward by Casola down the side. Sebastian up against Mustafa. Sebastian gets the other side of Mustafa. Tries to pull it back. Oh, penalty's been given. Gets the other side of Mustafa. Is it a handball by Ahmed, the youngster? How is he supposed to get out of the way? I do not know. That was a tough call. That is a yard away. Tabata steps up. This will be the last kick of the game. Tabata, it's the post. He stays 2-2. What a week Tabata's had. Own goals, red cards, and now he's missed a penalty. And now Al Saleh, can he get a winner? We've got people forward. Grigori at the far post. Alcorbiad's away. Oh my word, drama here.
Once again, Al Rayyan dropping points. Al Saleh will probably be happy with that as a draw, but a very disappointing first half from Al Rayyan. But then it livened up, Nick. Certainly there at the end, it was pretty frantic.
It did, yeah. You got to give a bit of credit to Saleh. They came out and had a real go at the start of it, and it wasn't working out for Ryan. It was sloppy. But eventually, I mean, I think they've got to be lucky the penalty at the end. We're going to go into a little bit. It was never a penalty. It could have gone horribly wrong for it, and it felt like they had a victory really with missing a penalty at the end to batter. But they showed little bits, Saleh.
OK, let's get through it. We'll start with you and we'll talk about the good start. Let's have a look at them.
Straight away, positive. I mean, we were. I mean, I don't know what the goalkeeper was thinking here now, but you know, when you're someone like Saleh, you need something just to get hold of in the game, and the keeper's well out of his goal there. And this is early couple of minutes, but then Mudava, I do like this boy. You know, he's positive. He always tries to do something, gets on the opposite side of the defender there and gets brought down. You know, and they were very positive. You know, we expected Ryan to be like this, and then this is the goal from it. Grigori didn't expect it at all to go in the top corner, but what a strike! And all of a sudden, for the good pressure what they put on. You know, they got the goal lead, and it wasn't looking like it wasn't a good performance by Ryan. You thought, are they going to get back into it?
There were some good chances as well, Chris.
For
both sides, but also
yeah. It was a fabulous first half by Al-Saleh, and they looked like the Saleh of the first half of the season. Created numerous chances. Belhaj was back to his best in this game. Timur thought was probably one of his best games in a couple of months. There he is there, putting the defenders under pressure. I just felt in this instance he could have stayed on his feet and be a little bit stronger. But all the big players that played well in the first half of the season had improved performances, because as of late, you know, they haven't performed, have they?
Should he have scored here, Timur?
A good save. I'll put it down to a good save, that. Quick off his line there, Alcacer.
Nick?
No, it's good there, but whether they're going to get top in the fourth, it doesn't seem to be happening really for them. I mean, next week's game's a big game for them, but they need to get back on track, really, winning games of football and getting back in the habit of that.
The Almari goal, that was this is top quality, and this is what they're still capable of.
Here he is now. Look how deep he is. There's the runs there. Almari in your top left-hand side. Belhaj run. Look at the meters they're covering there, the pair of them. And that will please Sami Trabelsi, Nick, won't it? We're talking about the bad performances have, but that's desire from two players there.
Absolutely, and when he gets there as well, he's ran all the. You know, when you think it's easy, is when he can just turn off. And a great delivery from Belhaj and a wonderful header as well. So there's a few negatives, but probably a lot more positives.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether this was a match where we see a little turn, maybe. Do we? From Al-Saleh there. I mean, to get a point, I know Al Rayyan were disappointing in that first half, but in the end, they've had a point against Al Rayyan. Well, they would have taken that.
Well, you've got Grafa breathing right behind him now, but obviously a big game next week. You know, whoever wins this out of Saleh and Saleh, then you're back on track then, because it's about these two. You know, about the three of them really who are going to get that top four. So it's a must-win for next week for Saleh or Saleh.
The review show would never be complete unless we had a penalty decision to discuss. Here it is in this match. 92nd minute, he drives the ball into the floor, Sebastian. It bounces up. I swear, I think they look for this. Look how quickly he taps his arm. He's already. It's almost like he's calling for the handball before it happens.
I know. That's just a modern game, isn't it? And I'll tell you what, the referee didn't have any doubts today. Within half a second, he points to the spot. It was never a penalty. Yeah, but you can't get out of the way. You can't. It's a yard away.
You can't.
And then what about this for Tabata to miss?
What a week he's had, by the way.
Yeah.
It's justice, though.
Own goal, red card.
I think that's justice
in the
for
AFC
Saleh.
Champions League. Now, this was back in week 5 when they played.
You can't have two of them. You know, that is bad luck, that. They say that it evens itself out during the season, but you can't have that. Trabelsi would have gone absolutely crazy if they ended up getting the 3 points.
Yeah, they got the 3 points back in week 5 with Hamid Allah with that last-ditch penalty and getting it. OK, so we've got Al-Saleh on 25, we've got Saleh on 24, and we've got Al Gharafa on 23. At this point, I won't ask you yet.
I know what you're fishing for a compliment, aren't you?
I'm just fishing
you
for...
aren't you?
I'm fishing for who goes into...
Only because you said Al Gharafa the week since you come back from the mid-season
You've got
break.
to get one of these right in 6 years, haven't you?
Who wants to go, yeah, you're right, Rodders.
Hands up. I'm never very good. I make early season predictions that normally fall flat on their face.
Ever since you brought Ugin back and you went for it, and you might be proved right.
It's looking good for them, it is, only because the two there are struggling a little bit.
OK, let's move on to Al Gharafa, shall we? They lost in their midweek Champions League match. They had to refocus and turn their attention back to league business because they were still in with a shout of a top 4 finish. They were up against an Al Kharatiyat team who were still in desperate need of points to pull away from the relegation zone. Al Kharatiyat fought hard in this match and gave Al Gharafa plenty to think about. Gharafa always held the upper hand with 54% of the possession. They had 10 shots on target compared with the visitors' 6, and the breakthrough came in the 19th minute there when Al Yari found the back of the net. The visitors became frustrated, and Schneider was enjoying plenty of freedom. In time added on, the ball fell to Iranian striker Taremi, who made it 2-0. And 3 points to Al Gharafa. Chris.
Let's talk about Al Kharatiyat.
It's good though. Al Gharafa had a tough week midweek, AFC Champions League, big thing for them to be in it. They lost. Yeah. Then they bounced back, and refocused and done a good job of
Probably
it.
looking the strongest out of that pack that are hunting down that 4th spot. I really do fancy Al Garaffa now. I'll tell you what, Al Karatea, they won last week against Al Marquillo. How crucial was that win, by the way? It took him to 13 points. The 1 point above Al Arabi now. He'd never had that. They would be on 10 points in the bottom 2 now. Al Karatea, where's this win going to come from?
I know, and they,
They're right in it, aren't they?
And they've got all those teams at the bottom. It's still very tight. They've got to realistically look at getting points against the other teams around them. Forget the top 4.
Can I ask Nick a question?
Yeah.
Right. How many points? For me, it's the bottom 4. It's Alcor downwards. How many points do Al Arabi or Al Karatea have to get to stay in this league? 5 games left. Would 1 win do it?
Two would do it, definitely.
Are they going to get 2 wins though? You have
at the moment, it doesn't look like.
Season,
but is Marquia only won 1?
I think one of those teams has settled for 1 win now, the way they're playing.
You won't be far away. It's what Mark...
Let's have a look at the goals then.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the goals. Come on, everyone.
Yeah.
This was then Al Garaffa had the better of it.
Well, they're getting players forward. There's 3 or 4 yellow shirts getting forward there, which is always good to see. I always feel the more numbers you get in the opposition box, you're going to have the better chance of scoring a goal. It works out there for Al Yari. He's impressed us this year.
I think he's up there with getting probably the player of the season. Young player of the season, if anything. But I think his game has come on so much. He's positive, he's direct, and he's full of confidence at the moment. There's another goal for him.
You know what was good to see there? You had Madibo, Al Yari, Aladdin, who else was there? Moyad as well. All young players there, isn't it?
Yeah. And I tell you, but it must be great. Same thing as at Al Sadd, having someone like Schneider there, And I bet he knows.
I mean, look, he's delivered that pass there,
But to have someone like him there, helping you and watching him how he plays his football, how he trains, and the place is on the up. They obviously know they know what they've got to do because they've got a good beating by the top 2. That's where they want to be. That's where they're going to strive to be. They're a long way away from that at the moment, but at the moment. They could finish off in the top 4. If they finish off in the top 4 and have a good run in the Champions League, wow! And I'm sure they'll do business as well in the summer. So yeah, it looks like it could be back to the old glory days there.
All right, big call. Back to the glory days. Let's go on to Al Ahly. They were looking quite settled, really, weren't they? In 7th spot, going into week 17. There's nothing wrong, really, of Al Ahly still dreaming going into this week of a top 4 finish. But they faced the Qatar Sports Club, who, remember, were coming off a very good Week 16 win against Al Salia. As far as possession was concerned, there was nothing in this match between them. The Qatar Sports Club looked sharp with striker Amari at the heart of everything. Al Ahly had more shots on target, but the visitors looked more dangerous. Then, in the 40th minute, Majid was adjudged to have been fouled in the area, and Mashal stepped up to take penalty, which was saved twice by Jassim. It would be a miss that Al Ahly would regret as Omari popped up with the winner in the 57th minute. His 4th goal since joining in January. Well, Nick, you've liked Omari since he's come onto the scene with Qatar Sports Club, and he's done it again for them.
I like the manager. I like the way he's turned everything around. It's fantastic, and he's an exciting player. Tell you what, they play Ryan next week. Ryan will come back from the Champions League, and Ryan have to be on their toes because this side's a dangerous side, and it's got belief with it now. Organised. They obviously ride a little bit of luck here with a penalty. What Michelle takes here now, well saved. But there's a real belief around the club, and if you can compare it to what it was like under the previous manager, they look like they're going to have a really tough season. And they've got the belief. I tell you what, they've got players like Omar. Omar there is a real determined guy, isn't he? I mean, we remember when we interviewed him last year when he was playing at Al Arabi. He has a real determination with him, and they've got a lot of players like that. And obviously, this guy here now is banging the goals in for fun, and it could be interesting next week against Ryan. I've just got that little bit of a sneaky feeling because they took the foot off the gas in the game we just covered here now. Can't afford to do that against.
Yeah, they are brimming with confidence, that's for sure. But Al Ahly there, I said going in that that we were still discussing them in the previous show about the top 4. Why not? I think you said it, Nick. I think that's put it to bed now.
Well, Qatar 1 point behind them now.
Yes, but then the gap between Al Ahly and Garaffa.
Yeah, Nick, I think to do that they had to win this match.
Yes.
I didn't I just don't. Well, top goal scorer for Al Ahly is Michel with 5 goals. For me, all season they haven't been like the old Al Ahly, not rattling in the goals, are they? Not scored near enough amount of goals that I would like to see. Qatar Sports Club for me is safe now on 18 points.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to hopefully stick with the manager at Al Ahly. We've had some good conversations with him and let him do his little bit of business. You know, I think
Jorge Perez del Campo,
him,
he's good.
You know, there's 2 managers there.
I think he's due Montari back. That'll be a big help. Shikawi's been out.
But you've got 2 managers there from Al Ahly in Qatar, which used to train the youth teams. So they've discovered these managers that have come forward now and look like they're good for the jobs.
OK, let's move on. Al Markhia, they were finding it tough to add to their one solitary victory all season. They were relying on their new head coach now, Tunisian footballing legend Adel Salimi, to guide them to safety. In week 17, they were up against Al Khor, who themselves were coming off 2 straight defeats. How much Al Markhia wished they had a player of their head coach's calibre. Unfortunately, Adel Salimi could only watch from the sidelines. At least Salah was able to put a smile on his face in the first half. He also had reason to be happy that his team edged the possession stakes and had 3 shots on target. Al Khor's 1. But Al Khor kept the pressure on, and it paid off in the 65th minute when Talal Al-Shila turned the ball into his own net. It finished 1-1. Well, Adel Salimi's taken on a big job there, Chris, but he got a point, and the statistics were not bad, but it's not enough when you're down there.
No, another game where I thought Al Markhia needed the 3 points just to have any hope of probably staying in the QMB Stars League. When they go 1-0 up, it's looking good. You think a new manager, you normally get an extra 10-20% from the players. Well worked goal at the near post there by Salah. You know, they've only scored 13 goals so far this season, and Salah's got 6 of them.
Tell you what, if you turn it around, we just covered Qatar. Qatar were doomed. They changed their manager at the right time. All of a sudden, it's changed. Have they left it a little bit too late for this new manager? Doesn't give him a lot at all. He's got to try and turn it around. Just when you think they're going to get it here now, there's a home goal goes against them. It just does not look like it's happening for them. And obviously, in their next game after that, they play Garafa. So, you know, time is really running out for them. They need a huge result from somewhere.
But these are definitely involved in the relegation.
Well, again, we're talking about, you said 4 clubs. I think there's 5, isn't there?
Qatar Sports Club are 5th off bottom on 18 points.
Yes, I think you're interesting. You said based on their form, but you think 18 is enough to stay out?
I think Qatar Sports Club, yeah.
Yeah, right.
They're 6 points ahead of Al Arabi. They're going to win 2-3 matches.
Okay, so we'll leave it in the bottom 4, uncertain then of their Stars League status.
Yeah, and Al Khor are in that. They're on 15 points. Al Arabi on 12.
They're making a habit of it. They did it again last season. They only just managed to stay in the top league.
He seems to have an impact when he went in there, and they've just hit the wall, haven't they?
Yeah. They look more organised, but it's not happening again for them. You know, they're struggling to
get goals.
Yeah.
Correct. You know, that's the problem. I mean, they're Madsen, who's doing extremely well. Sarouche is back on the scene, but still not enough.
Coming back from, he had a month out, didn't he, with injury and suspensions. He's still trying to find his way. Somebody's got to help Madsen. It's always been the case there.
They've only got De Gea next game, so should be all right for that first 3 points. Yeah?
All right, let's look at Al Sadd. They were gaining momentum and still keeping the pressure on league leaders Al Duhail. In week 17, they were up against their local rivals, Al Arabi, who are finding it very difficult to pull away from that danger zone. Once again, it's Nick Summerby and Chris Makin with the commentary.
I think you expect more of this, all the red shirts making it difficult, just everybody getting behind the ball. There's a ball into Bunja. Bunja gets fouled from Bayivan. Al Haidous to take it.
Xavi having a rest tonight, and he puts Al Sadd 1-0 up. What a start for Al Sadd and Al Haidous. Shouldn't really put Mahanad off, should it?
We should be watching it where it is with the wall. They should be able to see the shot coming in. But either way, they've gone a goal behind. Very much like De Gea, they've come out the blocks. They've got that goal early. You know, and this is where it's more difficult now for Al Arabi, because they've got to try and get back into the game somehow or other.
Yes, here getting on the ball, dropping deep now. How his season's improved. What's a ball by Abdul Karim? Falls to Al Haidous. 2-0. 2-0 in the blink of an eye.
Tell you something, Chris, it's all about reaction. What a delivery into the box. When he whips it in there, Al Haidous, the keeper cannot get hold of it because of the pace and the power, but there's only one person who's going to get there first. Forget about the defenders. There's Al Haidous just to smash it into the roof of the net. And it's 2-0 to Al Sadd. Very, very much like the De Gea game. They've started off really lively, but just watch this for a cross. Keeper again has to bring it into his body. He pays the ultimate price, fumbles it, but just look at the reaction there from Al Haidous.
Jardel now. Jardel with a shot. Jardel to the top corner. What a goal!
What a game of football, Chris.
Jardel with a screamer. He switches it onto his left-hand side there. You've got to keep him on his right foot. As soon as he comes in on his left foot, he's going to let fly. That is absolutely perfect. There's no chance for Sadd in goal.
Going forward, they look dangerous, Al Sadd.
Kafan in his old kit there. Former Asian Player of the Year. It's goodbye, Al Arabi. Keep putting the crosses in. Here we go again. Ball to the far post! Chance goes to Mansour. He was always stretching, but still goes down and there's a chance.
Once again, ball just knocked down the line, making Al Sadd get back and defend it.
I like it.
Chris, if you keep, you know, as Sadd here now, the goalkeeper, keeps keeping hold of the ball and playing to the back, I think there's an opportunity. You know, if you really rush him, and I think he can cause problems.
Hamid again getting forward. Hamid to the far post. Benesh is there. Stretching for the cross. Xavi slips past him. Xavi slipping in. Pedro's made his way. No, yeah, Pedro's made his way forward.
Not at all, referee. Come on, think about the game a little bit. You've got to look at the tackle at the start. The tackle's one, and then they collide after that.
There we go. Space on left hand side. Oh, Mansour's just got to get his head up earlier then.
Once again, Chris, once again, he's out there on the left-hand side. Keep your head up. Get it in there. Here we go. Good ball.
If he comes in.
Come on.
If he comes in. Oh! Flashed across the goal there. Al-Harbi on the far side.
It's not going very well, really, at the moment for Al Sadd. Another lead in this game, 2-1. It was 2-0, but they've just got caught out now. This is Bunja.
Here we go. Benesh fires over again. He's not really shooting boots on tonight. Benesh with the touch round the corner. Al Haidous. Now Hamid. Hamid trying to whip one across. Benesh has done well in his first 2 games since he'd come back, but he seems to run in treacle tonight, doesn't he?
He's a bit tired now.
Give him a rest. Make him fresh, but there's a shot for him. Oh my word. Oh my word. Another one. Abdul Karim, is that better than Diego Jardel? It's 3-1 to Al Sadd, by the way. We're just comparing 2 world-class goals we've seen tonight. What a goal, Nicholas.
We'll have to tell you in a minute, but absolutely fantastic, and it looks like it's game over now, just from a bit of brilliance from Abdul Karim.
It's a little bit of swaz on that, a little bit of bend on it. Let's have, oh, there's the angle. Oh, look at that! Oh, hey there! Brazil, 1982. Look at that! Cuts right across the ball, gets a whip on it, doesn't he, Nick?
Absolutely fantastic, what a strike. And when you just see from the angle behind him, you know, you can see the curl on it. Not a chance at all, Al Arabi. And I feel sorry for Al Arabi because they really have done well, but sometimes you've just got to take your hat off and say, here we go, what a strike. No, it's all about Al Sadd now keeping possession, threading the ball through to Xavi. Here's Bunja, he's going to try and cut inside and get a strike.
There we go. There we go. It's got to go down, really. It's bad defending there, Nick. I'd rather have him going on his left foot there. You called it in your commentary there perfectly. Keep him down there, keep him away from goal. As soon as he cuts inside there, always going to get a shot on target, I suppose.
That's what he's looking for, Chris, isn't it? He's just waiting, he's waiting. There he is, you can see on his right foot, force him away. As soon as he cuts inside now, it's opened up for him, but well tucked away, because I thought he might have gone for the other corner, and he just put it in on the left-hand side there, and
If he gets his crossing at the far post, it's a tap-in for Assad. He's gone back to Afif. Assad's got a tap-in on the far post.
I don't know, it's a tricky one.
For De Gea, yeah, you've got to go with Al Arabi all the time. He's perfect for them. 6-yard box. Oh, penalty. He's give it. He's give it. Shot run up. Oh, wonderful penalty. Slides it home. And the only pace on the ball. Sends Mohamed the wrong way. Gets his hat-trick on the night. Al Haydous is the top scorer at the club now with 11 goals. There's a lot of the hard work in there. Jamoum, here we go. They've opened up Al Arabi again. Final pass by Afif wasn't the best. Here's Assad. Back to Afif again. Poor first touch. Falls to Al Haydous. Takes a shot on. What a save by Mohamed. Shifting through that book in terms of
It was
score.
a big result, wasn't it? I'm sure it was.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Pedro. Oh! Van dancing through midfield. Carry. Gonna get his shot off. Referee points to the penalty spot. Sees it saved by Sad in goal.
About Al Hale gaining momentum and getting stronger. Al Sadd seemed to be doing that. Al Arabi really had no chance, Chris.
I'm just really excited by Al Sadd at the moment. You know, Akram Afif is coming to the squad. He looks a really good player to me. Just needs more game time. Benez is back in there. Abdul Karim just gives that wonderful balance down the left-hand side now. He's brought the best out of Yasser. Yasser, for me, looks short of confidence in the first half of the season. He looks as though he's enjoying his football at Al Sadd. It's just building up beautifully for 2 weeks' time.
You said, in the studio we did the other night, you said Al Sadd for the title. That's how you feel it's going to go.
Well, they beat, in 2 weeks' time, they beat De Gea. You'd think they'd go on and win the league after that, and it's the momentum. You have to say that. We questioned it at the start. I mean, some of the games, what they got away with, and Lady Luck is on their side. Let's have it right. They're getting a lot of decisions, and it's just gone right for them, and they're up for it now. Why can't they beat De Gea? You know, why can't they? It's there. It's one-off game of football. You know, as long as nothing goes on up until now, it's a proper game of football. That is a winner takes all.
Right, let's look at things in a bit more detail. You mentioned Bunja and players like that, and Xavi, but Assad as well. Nick or Chris, one of your favourites.
No, I like this boy, I really do, and he's hitting form as well. But do you know what he does? In some of the games when it doesn't go right, he's positive. Just watch this now. This is what he does. Look, he's tight control. All of a sudden, there's 2 players out of the game. You know, and he glides past people very easy, and all of a sudden things happen. We talk a lot about Xavi, you know, wonderful what Xavi. This boy as well here now makes things happen. You know, when you least expect it, he just go and beat a couple of players and things happen.
You don't see many dribbling midfielders anymore, do you?
No, absolutely. We talk about good passing midfielders, but not the dribbling ones. Right, Al Arabi, let's look at the positive. Some good defence, Chris.
There was, yeah. They were strong. I like the partnership between Natik and Fuster, and you know Talau sometimes drops in between the pair of them, but they were both strong on the night, and they had to be because they were under intense pressure. But I thought when they were called upon, they did things right. No messing about. Strong on Benezia. I mean, you look at the scoreline 5-1 and say, what's he talking about? They did well defensively, but they show some promising signs. What we're trying to point towards there is the remaining 5 games. If they can stay nice and solid and do more of what they did in this match against lesser teams, they should be okay.
Got to find a goal
Should
scorer.
Well,
exactly. That's the next stage.
This is sorted out defence. Stay nice and solid there. What are you doing at the other end?
But it's not. I don't know what he's going to do here now. He needs a magic wand. He needs something. I don't know what it is. But Carey, you probably have to stick with him. You can't do any more business unless you can. I don't know. Is there any players in the youth team? It's not happening. I really felt for him here because obviously with the last game, he had the confidence. He said, "Give us the ball here now," and it's not gone out. It's just not happened for him at all. You know, all of a sudden you can see some of the players as well for Al Arabi. They're going like that, and it's, you know, you get more paranoid. You know, unless he does something drastically or whatever in the next game, it's a
Because
difficult one.
he was dropped for that game.
He was dropped, he came off. But you know, the only thing with it, they played really well, and there was a certain point where you just thought second half, just stick Carey on. Get him running into the channels.
You were saying in the half-time chat, I remember, you said, come on, let's get him on.
They played without a centre-forward. What we're trying to say is the two centre-halves there. I mean, they defended as much as they can, but they've got no one. Every time it goes forward, there was no one there.
Here's the psychology. He was not starting in that game because the week before he missed a few opportunities.
Yeah.
And you often talk about that. When you take a player off, sometimes that gets into their head, their confidence drops, where you just say, do you know what, you had a bad game this week, you're back on next week, come on, let's get it sorted out.
Even more so with
but they want to, as a footballer, you want to prove, you know, for you to get dropped on the bench, you want to say, right, I'll show you. We saw it when we did the Outcast tournament, when they took the Benfica lad off, did 3 passes. He did that so he'd come back stronger, you know, and that's what you expected then. You thought, well, go on, Carey. He should have gone on second half and used his pace and power, and hopefully he would have proved the manager wrong, but it didn't go that way for him.
It was a game that gave us 2 magnificent goals, Chris.
Incredible.
And from Al Arabi as well, Jardel. Nailed this one.
Unbelievable. It's just top corner. You know what was disappointing, though, was the defending there. You got to show him onto his right foot there. I mean, that is great to see Abdul Karim back. I love him. I love his attitude to the game. Here we go. Yassir, talk about improved players there. He's getting on, you know, confident enough to take the free kick quickly and get the play going. But 2 wonderful goals.
This is the angle here now. You'll see it from behind. Here we go. Look at that there. Look, striking across the ball, and it just feels good that if it leaves your foot, the ball hardly moves, and he's just got it fantastic. It was all over. It was game over after that.
Let's just recap the results then for you from week 17. Al Dale then 5-0 winners over Salal on Thursday the 15th of February. They got a step closer to that league title. Wonderful performance. Ripped Salal apart completely. Then on Friday the 16th of February, Al Rayyan 2-2 with Al Salir. Good point for Al Salir, that. Al Gharafa 2-0 winners over Al Khartiat, bouncing back from their midweek defeat in the AFC Champions League. And then Al Ahly going down to Qatar Sports Club. Al Markhia drew 1-1 with Al Khor on Saturday, and as you saw there, Al Sad's 5-1 win over Al Arabi. So what does that mean to the league table? Let's show you. At the top, Al Duhail, 2 points clear of Al Sad. Al Rayyan in third to 36 points. Al Salir now 25 points in 4th position. But look, Salah, Al Gharafa still very tight there, chasing down that 4th spot. That looks like it'll go to the wire. Al Ahly, best of the bottom half there. Qatar Sports Club, there they are in 8th. They've recovered well. But Al Khor, Al Khartiat, Al Arabi and Al Markhia all involved in the troubles that come with fighting relegation. Right, that time of the show when we ask Nick and Chris to reveal their top 3 goals from week 17. They just point fingers at each other. Number 3 from week 17, Chris.
Very difficult week.
Very difficult
week. We've
week.
gone with Massetni. What a season he's having. Massetni for Al Duhail. Wonderful awareness, wonderful touch. The time run was to perfection. And I think he's on 18 goals now. And it's been an inspired decision by Mr. Balmadi to give him the captain's armband. He's responded with 18 goals, 5 games to play. He's leading that side, and he could lead Al Duhail onto their best season ever.
What a goal. As I said, it did remind me a little bit of that Van Persie goal in the World Cup for Holland. Wonderful goal from Massetni. Unbelievable. It was a quality goal, and it came third. So, Nick Summerby, what came second?
Almari for Salir. What a goal this was. Well, we covered it before. It's all about him starting to move off. He lays the ball out there. All of a sudden the ball just gets laid in now for Belhad. It's all about his cross. But look, he's got into the box, started it off and finished it off as well. And it's a fantastic header as well. What a goal that was. Surprisingly, it didn't get to number 1.
Wonderful, though, for Al Salir. Wonderful goal and a good point for them against Al Rayyan, as we said, in week 17. Will they still hold on to that 4th spot? But the top goal from week 17, as chosen by Nicholas, is...
He never got to number 1, Nicholas.
Don't give us in.
This is number 1.
OK, what is
it? I don't even have to tell you, it's Abdul Karim. Reminiscent, if you're old enough to remember, the 1982 World Cup, famous Brazilian left-footed player called Adair had a wonderful left foot, just like that. That's a fantastic strike. I'm waiting for the behind the strike view. It's even better when you look at it from behind. Let's have a look. There we go. Look at the Swaz. Swaz City. One-way ticket.
Wonderful. Well done, Abdul Karim. A good friend of the show here, always happy to contribute, and he contributed to our show and the league and to Al Sadd this week. Wonderful. Right, wrap it up, week 17. Your thoughts about the whole picture? Chris, Nick first.
Can we just scrub this next week 17 and just go straight to week 18? That's what we're waiting for, aren't we? We want the bigger. We want the De Gea and we want
countdown,
the...
innit? We should have a big clock here at Alcast.
This is what we should have. This
Minutes,
is the one.
seconds.
Yeah, the big go is that Al Sadd Al De Gea. That's not till March the 1st.
Let me just flip one on
One
to
of
you
them
now
will
then.
get beat next
Let
week.
me just... Yeah, please don't say that. I'll be devastated. Don't say that. We've got to say now, who do you think will win out of that game? Just the game alone.
Xavi's
Is
got
it
to
that
step
much
up.
of it?
I think I'm going with you now. I don't mean to hang on to your coattails, but as you say, scripts for people like Xavi are written differently. You know, he wins everything in his life. He wins the European Cup, European Championship. He wins the World
got
Cup.
to defend, though.
When you say the scripts are differently for him, so if I'd have done it, would have got thumped about.
Right, we got to go. Do you want to have a quick word? Final word, Chris?
Just happy to be here.
Wonderful. All right, that's it. We're all done for week 17. We now turn our attention to week 18. We'll see you on Thursday evening, 21:30 Doha time. It's the 22nd of February, and we'll have the preview show for you for week 18. Until then, from all of us here, bye for now.